we don't even have to argue about what needs to be done, because whatever is in his department, that's his department. Whatever is in my department is my department. But when that happens, you wake up differently every day. When that happens, because everything's energy. I was giving Charmaine a hard time earlier. I was like, girl, it takes a lot to run an event. Make sure you eat, because you're pouring energy into people, and sometimes after an event, you completely drain. So the biggest nugget I can give you guys is that face yourself in the mirror as quickly as you can, and whatever that challenge is, find, similar to what Wasim has mentioned, everyone else, is that everything else will fall into place. So I'll close with this. I don't know how much time I have left. I'll tell you guys the story of how I ended up in this room, okay? Because that will tie everything back together into why we're here tonight. So our business, our clothing line, you'll learn more about it later, but just for the sake of time, is that June was our 5-year anniversary, okay? So I was personal stylist for 10 years alongside my corporate job, so I always had a side gig. I was in corporate America for 7.5 years, and I built our clothing line alongside our corporate job. So I never went full-time with my business until 1.5 years ago. But alongside, so I would work my job from 8 to 5, and thank you. I would work my job from 8 to 5, and then from 6 to 9 p.m. or 6 to 10 p.m., I would then go to networking events. Okay, so follow me. Okay, you're working all day, and then after that, you're going to networking events. No wonder why I didn't own a TV for so long. That's a different story. But after that, so 3 years ago in August, we just had our friend anniversary with this gentleman. I'll say his name. So 3 years ago, I'll go to a networking event here downtown, and the last 15 minutes of the networking event, some guy walks in, he's running late, he has a thing with being on time. But he comes in, and then someone's like, no, you gotta meet this guy, and then someone else is telling me, you gotta meet Mo. This is the last 15 minutes of networking event, and I meet Wasim Hajiri, the last 15 minutes of networking event. We sit together the next couple of days later for dinner, we connect, it becomes like an instant brotherhood. We connect, we complement each other's businesses, we add value to each other, became one of his personal stylists, and then that's beside all the business things that came to it. And then 1 year ago, he introduces me to Charmaine to be on her podcast. But again, the goal of being in America was never to meet Charmaine or Wasim. The goal was to find like-minded people that will add value to each other, and then eventually everything will fall into place. So the biggest thing I can tell you is don't worry about the why. Focus simply on what your vision is, because eventually everything will fall into place.